Alrighty then. Welcome everyone to another edition of Dynasty the Podcast Show. I am your host, Ira Thomas Bush the Fourth, and officially Coach Ira Thomas Bush the Fourth now. Because I just want to say thank you. We'll talk about that more in the thing in our show today. I just want to say thank you. It's been a great day. I'm a little sleepy, but it's not because it's the sleep monsters trying to attack. They bored today. They jealous again. Stuff gonna happen. Stuff gonna move around for the greater of my for my greater of my light, light, and I'm getting back to full time of doing my purpose. I had a great I've had a great morning so far and a good afternoon. We're gonna try to get some lunch in after I finish speaking with y'all, after I finish doing my show. We're gonna give you a breakdown. Today's show is called what I call the title of this. It was so good it want me to forget. um what I called it, I forgot. It should be off the dome. It'd be that good. Random act of dominance. That's what I called the show today. And the keyword is dominance. I talk about dominating all the time and dominating just your assignment, dominate your day. And today was, I'm going to read the definition of dominance: power and influence over others. That is what dominance means. So, I got the opportunity, my phone call came through yesterday. It was very positive, productive. Today was the kickoff, exactly what I'm gonna be doing on the field. I told y'all what it is when it comes down to, make sure they transfer how they play on the sports or in their game that they play, in the sports game that they play, back into, transition it into, their everyday life, whether it's, going to school, whether it's going home and being disciplined and sound with your mom or whatever parent raised you, or, your father, whoever it may be. This is what, it came down to. I got out early this morning and, I went to church. Unfortunately, I'm a little mad because, I don't mind going to service. And since I've been in this area, since I've been in the area, I've been going to service every Sunday for the most part. But unfortunately we have practice every Sunday at 10. So this is how they compete in spring during, they just put a lot of reps and time into, perfecting their system. And I enjoy it a lot. Today I got to actually showcase my coaching, position as an individual coach. I got a little one-on-one work with some great players, and they did well. They took the coaching properly. One of the things is, my voice gets very aggravating because I repeat what I say because it hasn't changed what the direction is. It's just that, as a great coach, you want that to echo in their mind when they on the field. And, that's what goes right back to dominance. I'm not trying to really control your everyday life or any aspect. I'm trying to put in your mind the proper way to win, the proper way to be great. And, that's what I stand on. That's what, a lot of the stuff that I go off is based off, you know, not taking a shortcut, not taking a short route to, to be great or to be in position to win. It's about putting that forth effort and, gradually gaining towards the ultimate goal of being the best, being the greatest. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Shout out to my family, anybody associated with Elite Youth Association, Elite Association. Shout y'all out. I appreciate you from, just being able to tap in and listen to my show, or even share. There's been people that have came up to me, and it's good that the message is getting out there. The people are starting to identify who really is going against them, And that's what the main things I wanted to speak out loud for, because people know, once you be around someone, they want to spin it around like they didn't come in to infiltrate their downfall, and I came in to do the complete opposite. So we just gotta keep elevating, keep ignoring the haters, making sure that the position that they have, they won't have, due to the fact that they don't have what it takes. And speak on that all the time. Now let's go break it down. As far as politics, we are going to be in a week. Finally, they went back to work. The politicians, they came back to DC. I will be down there, and we will be breaking down these hearings that they have set for the whole entire week. They took off 2 weeks. They shouldn't have taken off any time, due to the fact that someone's trying to create massive traffic for the political world to debate or to even be a part on the field of a battle when it comes to firearms. And I see that they don't want to touch bases in the proper way, so we got to elevate and get the right people involved to protect the homeland and the entire country and even world. What I will say is we've narrowed it down. We narrowed the we've narrowed down. I don't know what it is, but I got tired for real. And I don't think I'm that sleepy. I think it's more about people trying to be funny about just being consistent. And I don't like that energy. I want to be very upbeat. I had a great practice, so you know it's tough out here. Now, what I will say is, what did I want to talk about today? We talked about, oh, yeah, I was talking about, being, coaching and being update, keeping update to this week is going to be a busy week for us going to these hearings and really breaking these stuff down of what they're talking about. It's going to be a very impactful, updated day, because they took off so many times. And yeah, now political, I'll have more on that tomorrow. Um, Community outreach, that goes back into it. I don't think none of my future or former players here that are new school that I'm gonna be putting my energy into. I don't think they're watching any of my shows yet. But if you are, make sure you are attending the off season workouts and the spring workouts that are given to, because we when it comes to getting put on assignment, the door is open 5 days. It's gonna be open 5 days, all 5 days at the same time. So make sure y'all coming in and putting that work in. Don't let the break deter you from your goal of winning a championship or being in championship contention. And you have to approach every day like that. You have to approach that even if you're not playing sports. You have to approach to dominate. And that's the key word. They dominate. And yeah. Now we're gonna move on. Political will be heavily a heavy duty topic tomorrow. We're not gonna trip on that. I really do appreciate all the people that support. Now let's get back to some fun. We have some football and basketball games going on. I'm I'm today's gonna be a good interesting day when it comes to NBA. Now, due to the fact that NBA playoffs is about to start, NBA playoffs about to start, I want to pick who's going to be in the Western. I think I did it earlier on this year, but that was way too early to tell. So we're gonna break it down a little bit for NBA. I might add an extra dark horse here and there for each side. So, it might not be my first pick, but it might be a dark horse or coming out of nowhere. So we're gonna talk about it. Now we're gonna start on the East Coast. On the East Coast, the number one seed is, who's the number one seed? me see. I don't know how I forget that fact. Oh, Detroit. I think Detroit is. Okay, I got it right here. The number one seed for the East. Yeah, Detroit's the number one seed on the East, and the OKC Thunder is the number one seed on the West. Now, to make my Final Four, the semifinals, and East Conference Finals, I want to give my predictions right now. On the East Coast, I have coming out in the finals will be the Celtics and I'm gonna have to go with the Celtics and this is gonna be tough. Celtics, Hawks versus Cavs. Cavs have a tough assignment because the Hawks actually been playing pretty well offensively. They added a lot of firepower. They have defense and offensive presence on the rebound front. They do a good job of sharing the basketball. So Cavs gonna have a tough outing on the beginning, and then it might match up well for them to follow the rest of the main or the playoffs. Now, so I won't say that person. The second team beside Detroit will be the Knicks. It will be second besides the Celtics. Correction, it'll be the Raptors. Is tough. They haven't played well. They haven't been in a combined game a lot this year. A lot of people been dinged up. It's actually between the Knicks and the Raptors for my second team. Philly sneaks in there, get in the playoffs. They're gonna be very tough, as well as the Hornets. And I actually favor the Hornets a little bit more because Embiid has been hurt all year, so it's gonna be tough. Now for Western Conference, so overall it will be Celtics, Hawks or Cavs, Raptors, Hornets, and the Phillies. And that's hard to tell. It's so combined and jumbled up. It's gonna be tough. Now for the Western Conference, I have the crazy thing, the Lakers versus the Rockets in the first round is crazy. Depending and all the outcome can change depending on if they win or lose tonight. But you know what's crazy? I think the Lakers match up okay with the Rockets, and it's gonna be tough. The Clippers, I think, it's gonna win against the Warriors in the play in, and the Trailblazers might beat the Suns, but it's all dependent on what Blazer team is trotted out there to or do they win. Mm. So yeah. people people are it's heavy look heavy emotion over here. They did not want me to do this show today, but unfortunately I arrived, I'm here, and it's lit. Now I don't really want to discuss anything. I don't have any specific things talk. We talked about a lot today. My my elite union, State of the Union was very powerful yesterday. It didn't have nothing too much crazy to do, but just handling relationships and handling friendships and so on and so forth, and being a parent. So we're gonna promote that one. I have very little to say today. I'm happy you know, I'm not really sleepy, but like I said, it's gonna get over. I'm finna go eat. I'm finna go enjoy the rest of my day. I'm finna watch the rest of the I'm gonna watch the Arena Football League and chill out and watch some football. And that's about it. This is Dynasty the Podcast Show. I'm your host, Ira Thomas, Mr. Fourth. We'll be back with a very, very elaborate show tomorrow. We're gonna break down some highs and lows of political world. I had to get out of rest today. So we're gonna break it down. We're gonna review some things. We're gonna probably talk about some of the executive orders that he's written. All that stuff will be coming tomorrow. I'm chill on a lot of stuff that's going on. And I'm happy that I know how to separate myself and understand what's real from fake. So, that's a message and a message. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm Ira Thomas the fourth, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.